Hello everyone and welcome to number 27. Today I'm going to be doing a review on an Alfa Quadrifoglio. Some of you may know that I'm actually of Italian origin, so I've lived here in the UK since I was 8 years old, but I still have that sort of beating passion for Italian stuff. You might not be able to tell that from my 12 cars videos, where really the two Italian cars that I had, the Maserati and the Integrale, didn't quite live up to their expectations, but I've always been a really big fan of Alfas since I had my 1750 GTV. That was about 15 to 20 years ago, video coming up on that as well. So for years and years, I've always been looking forward to the breakthrough Alfa, the Alfa that was going to change the reputation of modern Alfas. We had the 156, the 159, the 145, we had so many missed opportunities, and finally, here is with the Giulia Quadrifoglio, Alfa Romeo has finally managed to hit it big and has made a fantastic, class-leading car. So I couldn't wait to get my hands on one of these. It's only taken a year from release. I'm going to take it for a drive and see how I sort of get on with a car like this. As you know, I like older cars. I like cars with lots of feel. I don't get on with modern stuff that much. So even though I've got an open heart towards a nice Alfa, this is going to have to be really, really special for me to bond with it. Right, so finally the Giulia Quadrifoglio. What can I tell you? The engine sounds great. It sounds really good, and it's an abject lesson really. It's the opposite of what it's like in my Evora. It's just so much better. It's all there, it's shouty, there's loads of character. It makes you feel like you're driving a thoroughbred. Suspension is unbelievably pliant. I've put it in soft, but I just think that's too soft. I'm going to put it back into normal settings and see how it goes. I mean, you sit and it feels like quite a big car, but no more than any other car in this segment. It's just that I'm used to, and I like smaller cars really than this. But it feels really, really well settled. The chassis, I think, is incredible for a little saloon like this. It really is. Now this is a very bumpy little back road, but even with the suspension not in its softest setting, I think that's great. It's really good. I really don't like these flappy paddle gearboxes. This is one of the better ones. God, when you put your foot down, it really goes. Yeah, this is obviously one of the better ones, and it is pretty instant from what I can see, but God, I just don't like them. It makes me feel like I'm not in control of the car. This is definitely better than it was on my Maserati. Definitely better than that. Can I feel that this engine is turbocharged? Well, this is a 2.9 V6. It's got 503 horsepower, which is about 50 up on the normal BMW M3. And it feels really muscular, but it does have that sort of elastic band feeling that some of the turbocharged engines have. I wouldn't call it lag as such, but it's still not as pin sharp as a not naturally aspirated engine, or even like a supercharged engine, I think, like the one in the Evora. But this chassis is brilliant. It's got no right to work so well on these crappy little back roads. Very impressive. Like all the modern systems, the steering is really quite light. There's no getting around that. It's really direct, but it's not too nervous. You get feel. It's not that there isn't any feel, but I don't know. For a modern system, I think it's good. It feels right. You know, it feels right, but still not as good as the old sort of systems that I really like. It's still a little bit lacking. You get information through. It's not a complete blank, but it's just not a pleasure. So the Giulia actually has a carbon roof, a carbon bonnet and a carbon prop shaft, so it's really quite exotic. God, it sounds great. It's that wall of torque, that turbocharged torque, that really sort of picks up and lobs you down the road. What was I saying? Yes, it's quite an exotic car really. Carbon roof, carbon bonnet, carbon prop shaft. It's got torque vectoring rear diff, so it's got clutch packs on either side to direct torque to the side that needs it most. So it's quite advanced and it feels good. I do like it. I think, well, I'll need more time with it. This is just such a short little drive. You can't make your mind up like that, but I'm sure it's a multi-talented car. It is still a modern car. Alfa haven't achieved a miracle and made it feel like an older car, and that's just me. I'm not criticising Alfa or anything else. It's just that I prefer the mechanical feel of older cars. But for a modern car, it's good. And I do like that engine. There's loads of power there. And the way the car looks as well, you know, it's dramatic. It sounds dramatic. I would way much rather have this than a BMW, than an M3 or an M4 any day. And as for this interior, which has had so much criticism, well, I love it. I'm sure it's a step behind some of the German cars, but really, when you're buying a performance car, this interior is completely, perfectly, it's more than adequate. It's very nice. You know, if you want to buy a luxury car, then buy a luxury car. And there's a sense of fun there that I don't think is there in the German cars. Out of the M cars, after the E46, I haven't really been that interested in many of them, to be quite honest. And this is definitely something better than that. If you need a family car, buy one of these. Don't buy some sort of hyped, pumped up SUV. It is fun. So Andy, who owns this car, is actually following me in the Evora, and I'm wondering how he's feeling in that, following me at this sort of pace. I mean, we're not going mentally quick, but this is really impressive. He seems to be keeping up no problem. Well, this is just a mini test. It's not in depth. I'm not going to promise you any of that crap, but thank you all very much for watching. I really enjoyed driving this Alfa, and I'm glad that it's got the Alfa spirit back. Although I have to say, for me, it's not right for me, because it's quite a large car and I like little sports cars, and it still doesn't have the best feel that you get from the older stuff, but it's a great car. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and see you for the next one.